dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Justin Case. We begin with breaking news out of Lexington. Firefighters respond to reports of an emergency plane landing not far from Bluegrass Airport. Officials from Bluegrass Airport say the small plane's engine began having troubles and failed. The pilot was forced to make an emergency landing at a nearby farm. Police say 2 people on board appear to have suffered minor injuries and were both transported to a hospital for treatment. WKYT's Matthew Rand is live on scene and will join us shortly for a report from the scene. Helping more people than ever before, the West Care Emergency Shelter in Pikeville recently received an important grant. Those who work at the shelters say the grant is to benefit homeless individuals, and it's a real game changer. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher went there to learn why.
From 30 beds to 45 beds.
I just want people to know that homelessness is real in this area.
Serving more than 500 people every year. Case manager Anna Wakeland says people come to the shelter daily.
In January, we got a new grant. It's called the Grants to Benefit Homeless Individuals.
The new grant allows them to help more people.
With that grant, we were able to hire a doctor on staff, a mental health provider. We have a substance abuse provider. We have 2 more case managers, a peer support specialist, and a program coordinator, or program director, actually.
Wakeland says during the winter months, they see an increase in clients. This means they need more supplies.
Also, some of the things that we need are blankets, canned foods. We still do give out the packets.
These packs have the basic necessities inside, from toothbrushes to hand warmers during the winter.
Anything that you have that you use in your home, we use it times 45.
And the smallest items can rack up a big bill.
But when you think how much a towel and a washcloth and soap and shampoo, you're talking $30 just to even take a bath.
Wakeland says any donation can go a long way.
The basic needs that we take for granted every day are the things they need every single day. We need those here.
Helping more people than ever before. In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
If you would like to donate to the shelter, we have information on how you can do so on our website, WYMT.com.
Well, it's been a beautiful but chilly day here in the mountains. I hope some of you got woken up to some flurries this morning. You can see here on our Moorhead cam, a few flurries flew there as well up along Interstate 64. And as we look at our Whitesburg cam, we are seeing actually mostly clear skies there as the sun starts to set behind the mountains. Satellite and radar shows those flurries that moved through a little bit earlier this morning, and we've seen clearing really throughout the day with those partly cloudy skies. Scanning the skies now, though, we are looking at a clean sweep for us here in eastern Kentucky. Flurries are still possible, though, as we head into the overnight hours into early for your Sunday as well. Temperatures are into the low to mid 30s across eastern Kentucky, so they're dropping pretty quickly. Some spots are already into those lower 30s. But coming up in just a little bit, we have a couple things we need to talk about. Light snow is possible early into your Sunday, plus another system's moving into the mountains Monday into Tuesday. Then we have a cold snap midweek. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a little bit. Justin.
Back in October, we told you about a 12-year-old boy severely injured in a dirt bike accident in Knott County on Halloween night. Police say he got his leg pinned between the dirt bike and a car, leaving doctors to wonder if or when he would ever walk again. The family reached out to WYMT's Taylor Upchurch in hopes of letting the community know just how thankful they are for all their help during this time of need.
My leg glimpsed the back of the car.
On Halloween night, but Chris Jacobs' recovery continues even now into the winter.
When I pulled back in the driveway, I was just thinking I was going to die.
A dirt bike accident at the junction of Highway 899 and Holly Bush Road left him wondering if he would lose his leg.
They said then he would be lucky if he even seemed to be able to go back to school this year because of the injury.
4 surgeries and more than 50 doctor's visits later, Chris is cleared to walk the halls of Beaver Creek Elementary once again. But if there is any sign of infection,
every progress that he has done to his leg would have to come off and be cleaned and be scraped and start building the muscle and stuff back up to where it's at now. And it's been, what, 5 months, 4 or 5 months?
churches and schools reached out to make the recovery process a little easier.
It helped me get back and forth to Tennessee, and I just thank God I was going to die. A dirt bike accident at the junction of Highway 899 and Holly Bush Road left him wondering if he would lose his leg. 4 5 months. They all wrote me cards and stuff.
Without them, his grandma says the family would have been lost.
You let a kid get hurt and you will find the difference in our people around here.
Though Chris has endured a lot of pain, he is now walking without assistance.
Told him, I said, well, you got $1 million leg out of it if you didn't get nothing else.
And is thankful he's alive. In Knott County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Chris's grandmother says he is expected to make a full recovery by March. He will then decide to either let the skin grow back on its own or have a skin graft completed. We are learning more about a former Harlan County constable arrested for first-degree armed robbery earlier this week. Officials with KSP Post 10 arrested Brandon Haynes early Wednesday. They say Haynes and another person entered a home with masks on and told the man inside they were taking everything he had. Police say Haynes pulled out a .45 caliber handgun during the attempted robbery. Officials with KSP say Haynes and another person involved admitted to planning the robbery. Officials in Harlan County say Haynes served one term as constable in Harlan County from 2015 to 2018, and because of several complaints against him, county officials say they had to remove the blue lights from Haynes' car while he was still an elected official. 40 years ago tonight, the Dukes of Hazzard television show premiered on CBS. Today, thousands of people are attending an anniversary celebration in Nashville, Tennessee. WYMT's Steve Hensley is there.
These folks behind me are some of the biggest Dukes of Hazzard fans you will find, and some of them have been waiting hours to meet their favorite cast members of the show. Fans started gathering early outside Cooter's store and museum in Nashville. 40th anniversary merchandise was a hot item, but the biggest attraction was the cast members themselves. Bo, Luke, Daisy, Enos, Cletus, and Cooter were all here signing memorabilia and taking pictures with fans for several hours.
Life is precious, and this show has made it even more so. It's very special to so many people throughout the United States and all over the world. They think they know us because they do. The Dukes were down to earth. They were regular folks. There's nothing fancy about them. They were just simple country boys who were trying to do the right thing.
And we've seen several people from Eastern Kentucky here enjoying the celebration today. There will be a screening of the very first episode of the Dukes of Hazzard tonight, along with a concert featuring Wade Jennings, the grandson of Waylon Jennings, who of course sang the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. Our Connor James is also with me today, and he'll have more next week on Mountain News. For now in Nashville, Steve Hensley, WYMT Mountain News.
And WYMT was the only station to interview each and every cast member there. You'll hear memories from the cast members about their time in Hazzard, Kentucky, and more in a much more in-depth story this Monday. Officials from the Kentucky Transportation Department District 12 responded to a rock slide in Floyd County this afternoon. The rock slide is located on Kentucky 114 in Floyd County on the Salyersville side of the overnight trucking facility. The road has only one lane open, but officials say they could close all lanes during the cleanup. It's college game day for Kentucky and Kansas. The ESPN crew will feature the big showdown tonight. WKYT's Lauren Miner brings us the sights and sounds from Rupp Arena.
When it comes to showing up and getting loud, Kentucky fans won't let you down.
Let's go, guys!
Sarah White attended her first college game day this morning with her husband.
Hey, and I got to see Linnell Bradley. That's almost as good as it gets.
Like always, fans got creative with their posters and outfits.
This is the basketball capital of the world right here. That's what I'm talking about.
Today, Wildcats of all ages packed Rupp Arena ready for tonight's game, some even breaking out their best dance moves.
Say it again.
It's safe to say this little Wildcat, 5-year-old Braylon, quickly became the crowd favorite. While not everyone will be cheering on the Wildcats this evening.
Let's get it. Kansas Jayhawk, go Self.
Many predict Kentucky taking the win.
Beat Kansas!
It's going to be a close one, but the Cats are going to pull it off. At least I say about 5 or 6.
got Kentucky by 12.
Win or lose, some fans are already looking forward to the rest of the season.
Hey, come on, Phyllis! I'll get him in Minneapolis. Final Four, baby. I'll be there with him.
In Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
We will have more from this big game, which started this evening at 6, a little later on in sports. Heading back now to Lexington, where we are continuing to follow a developing story involving an emergency plane landing. WKYT's Matthew Rand is live on scene and joins us now with the latest. Matthew?
Justin, this could have been a whole lot worse than it was. We know 2 people were on board that plane, and officials did check them out here on the scene, but they did not appear to have any injuries and were not taken to the hospital. Now take a look. This is a picture of that plane there on the ground, just to give you an idea of the timeline. Airport officials tell us just after 3:30, the Bluegrass Airport received an Alert 1, meaning an aircraft was having a minor difficulty. Just 2 minutes later, that was upgraded to an Alert 3, which is an aircraft accident. And we're told the plane is a Beechcraft Bonanza, a single-engine plane that can seat up to 6 people. The 2 on board were coming into Lexington to do a normal landing there at the airport when they experienced engine failure and had to set down at Calumet Farm, which is nearby. Now, fortunately, the plane didn't catch fire and was more or less in one piece after that landing. There was a minor fuel leak. We talked to our own officer, Don Evans, who believes that pilot did everything right under the circumstances to put that plane down safely. Now, the 2 occupants were taken over to the airport to be questioned by police. The FAA will be conducting an investigation, though officials say it could take them a few days to get back up to speed after the government shutdown. In the meantime, that plane will stay here on the farm for that investigation. Reporting live in Lexington, Matthew Rand, WYMT Mountain News.
And that's Matthew Rand on scene. Thank you very much. We will continue to follow this story, and we will have the latest tonight at 11. Coming up on Mountain News Weekend Edition, the latest on the government reopening following the shutdown, which lasted for more than a month.
And we still have multiple chances for snow over the next few days. We'll break down that full forecast in just a few minutes.